the state is on fire. Not literally, just atmospherically. It's so hot. Hi, y'all. Welcome to the Suburban Stitcher Podcast. My name is Diane. Today is August 11th, 2019. It's a Sunday afternoon. I am coming to you from Richmond, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston, suburb-ish of Houston. I live here with my husband and my two boys and our dog, and I run the business Suburban Stitcher out of our home, and all things crafty and yarn and Suburban Stitcher related happen here. So thank you for joining me. If you are brand new, thank you so much for trying this episode out and for trying this podcast out. I hope that you like what you see. I hope that you are inspired. And if you have followed me for a long time, and I know that there are so many of you, thank you so much for coming back. I want to remind everyone it's been a little while, but if you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to this video if you like what you see. I am trying to do a much better job as of late of getting to you weekly. Hopefully at least every 7 to 10 days. That's what it's been the last few weeks, and so that's really exciting. But of course we know life happens, episodes ebb and flow, and I just enjoy chatting with you when I can. So I have a couple of ongoing CALs in my group. I haven't pulled prizes in a while, and it's not because I haven't had anything to pull. It's because logistics and all of that have been a little bit crazy. So I've been giving myself some grace on pulling prizes, and yes, but with the one CAL that is ongoing, that is super fun and so encouraging and uplifting the people that are in that group chat, is the hashtag Get Suburban CAL. And that is a year-long ongoing CAL for any project that's using about 50% or more of Suburban Stitcher yarn. So if you go over to that group and you just post photos of what you want to knit or what you are knitting or what you finished and encourage others, and you could be potentially, whenever I decide to draw some prizes, you could win a pattern prize. So periodically we have people that donate pattern prizes to the podcast, and that's the way that I use to give those away. So you can do that. That's a way of getting involved with the podcast. I have had a pretty busy week, lots of yarn dyeing. I am working on those advent calendars, and it's so exciting. I am loving working on them because it's like a clean, fresh palette for me to explore and play with every single day. Colorways that I've had in my head that I want to experiment with in a fun way. That's just been the best way to do it, and it's so like creatively exciting to me. So I hope that all of you who are getting advent calendars feel the same way because it's been a lot of fun for me. This week I have a huge finished object, and that is so exciting. Last week, so many of you were so encouraging with my plans for my personal Whip Down 2019. I talked about how I was inspired by Grace of the Cat Knit podcast, and so I hope that you've gone over there and watched her podcast. She knits so prolifically and beautiful projects. She's in the middle of a personal 19 in 19 for sweaters. She's already completed 12 sweaters this year and has plans for at least 7 more, which I think is amazing. So definitely go out over there and encourage her and show her some love. I think that would be amazing. So my finish this week is my Wet the Fade. I can't believe it, you guys. I finished the shawl. I started it just a little over 2 years ago. I'm so excited. I started this when it was a mystery, and now it is finally done. It is blocked, ends are woven in, tassels are attached, finished object photos have been taken. You literally will not be able to see the entire thing because it is enormous. But yeah, so here she is in all of her glory with these gorgeous faded tassels. I just love it so, so, so much. It's so squishy, and it's enormous. It's literally like the definition of a schlanket. I don't know. You can see it just makes me so happy. I love the black and the gray and the yellow. I think it's just such a fun pop of color. It's so different from any other color palette that I have in my wardrobe. So that's a lot of fun. I will put some like wide shots of it here, so that you can see what it looks like all, you know, when I'm standing in the yard holding it. I actually just had Josh take some pictures before we started podcasting. And yeah, so this is done. It is a little over 400 grams worth of yarn. So it was a lot of knitting. It was a lot of fading and a lot of garter stitch, but so, so, so worth it. So I'm just very excited to have that done and off my needles. And as you can imagine, that is my only finished object this episode. But I have some other things that I've been really excited to be working on, so I want to show you my works in progress. I have really put a lot of, and you know what? This is like almost to the end of the row. It's fine. There's not much to really see anyway. But I have pulled out to work on my Deshane top. Actually, you know what I'm going to do so that you can see this is I'm going to move these like 15 stitches over to this needle. I was about to run out of yarn, and I've been doing either magic knots or Russian joins as recommended by other knitters for this pattern with this yarn. Okay, so Deshane is a linen top, and it's Deschain. I have a couple people that have asked me the spelling, and it's by Leila Raab, Leila-Raabe. And it is a gorgeous linen, kind of boxy, little bit cropped style top knit out of Quince & Company Kestrel, which is an Aran weight linen tape yarn. I have finished the front. So this is knit in pieces. I finished the front, I think last month when we were on vacation. So the front of it was complete, and I needed to cast on the back, and the back is all stockinette. It's just a big stockinette panel. And I am maybe 10 or 12 rows away from starting the bottom edge, and then the back will be done. And so then you do your seaming, and the sleeves are the last bit. So I'm really getting close to getting close to seaming for sure. And then that will really feel like I'm on the home stretch. This has been a perfect project for traveling and sitting and knitting because it's just plain stockinette and very mindless, great social knitting, which is exactly what I've been doing with it in the last week or so. Yeah, so that is, I always forget to put my patterns back in there. That is my Deshane top by Leila Raab. Still getting some work. And this is a bag by Birch Grove, one of her larger shawl or like small. This is a small, like thinner sweater. So it's small sweater or shawl bag that I absolutely love. I did a little bit of work on these are my jelly roll socks. The yarn that I'm using is, the main color is some yarn from Dragon Horde yarn, and the pink is from Colorful Eclectic. These are jelly rolls by Orange Knits, Mara Catherine Briner, I believe. And so I have passed all the detail part, the little slip stitch section in the middle, and I'm stockinette knitting until I get to the toe. So I am on the zoom part right now. This was very slow for me. I actually didn't knit it as long as they recommend because it was just slow and I was ready to get to the next thing. So it is as long as I had the tolerance for, let's say that. It's a little contrast heel toe. Hopefully this will be done by the first sock will be done by the next time I podcast, and that I will have cast on for the second one. So that is that project. I also pulled out to work on my Galliano socks. Galliano. I think it's Galliano. I cast these on last fall on Galliano Island while I was at the Industry Creatives Retreat hosted by Knit Social, Knit Social is Amanda and Fiona. They are the wonderful, amazingly talented, smart, amazing ladies that run Knit City in Vancouver every year. And I went to their Industry Creatives Retreat last year. It was amazing. I met so many amazing fiber friends and got to cast these on. I bought this yarn while on that trip. I bought it from 88 Stitches in Langley, I think. Almost positive. Langley. 88 Stitches is a yarn store. And this is Mondum by Rosa Pomar. And I forget the colorway. It's a number. But it's this gorgeous kind of Adobe corally pink color. And it's a non-superwash, pretty rustic wool that is so nice. The Galliano socks are by Tracy Miller, and it has this beautiful cable and then these eyelet details here. I am doing a little bit shorter sock because I know myself and I finally have this pattern memorized, but I also know that I needed to have a short sock so that the pair would get done. So know thyself. That's all I can say. I am knitting these on Xiaogu twist, mini twists, I think, in the size US 1, 2.25 millimeter, and a Fish Lips Kiss heel. I think Tracy calls for a heel flap and gusset, but I like Fish Lips Kiss kind of as my go-to, and it's much quicker for me, and I have it memorized, and yeah, it's nice and clean looking. So here is the sock. We're past the heel, and I think this next round that I do is going to be my cable round, so that's why I put it down, because I didn't have a cable needle right where I was knitting it. So I'm sure that other people can knit those without a cable needle, and I just can't yet. They don't look the way that I want them to look when I do that. And it is in a Mrs. Brown's bag. Yes, because I feel like if I'm knitting a Tracy pattern, it needs to be in a Jody bag, because that's how my brain works. And the last thing, and I honestly worked on this for one evening and then I haven't touched it since, but I'm so excited about it. I started a new project because I just needed to start something new. I started yes, I do have the front picture. It's called Golden Willow by Knit Graffiti, and it is a kind of very thin shawl / scarf project, 3 colors of yarn. I think I talked about it several episodes ago as a potential project, and I have finally cast it on. So I am using Suburban Stitcher Silky Singles in Hedwig, which is a neutral with a brown speckle, like a chocolate grayish brown speckle. A new colorway to the shop called Lonely, which is kind of a very, very pale, mossy, sagey green with some speckles. And then the third color is Neptune. It's a little bit lighter on this base because of the silk than it is on my regular bases that do not have a silk content, but it's a beautiful kind of mid-toned teal, I would say. And so altogether, this is the color palette. It's very similar to the original color palette for that was used for the original version. And I have finished the first section. So this is a lot of brioche and textured brioche and brioche lace in this shawl, which just sounds so fun, which is my brain needed to think about something because I was working on miles and miles and miles of garter stitch on that what the fade, and so I just needed something that like made me think. And this was so fun. So I did the first section, which is like a honeycomb lace almost. That's a little bit better view of the texture. That's pretty color accurate too. It's just a nice, mostly undyed with little pops of speckles here and there. So that's my start on that. And I'm loving it so far. That is it for works in progress. I do have to take a sip of my sparkling water because it's 1,000,000 degrees. Hello, lovelies. I have a couple of things to show you this week and really excited about all of them, as always, of course, right? Okay, so the first is this gorgeous bag that I purchased from Party of 5 Crafts. Almost positive. Why am I questioning that as soon as I say it? I was looking to see if she has a business card or something in here. I don't think there is one. Party of 5 Crafts is a wonderful lady maker and knitter that I met at the Zombie Knitpocalypse this year. And she had a booth, or was part of a booth, where she was selling some of these backpacks and other things that she made, most of them out of waxed canvas. And because I was vending at the show, I literally did not even hardly get to walk around at all the entire marketplace, which was fine. I was enjoying selling yarn to all of you, but that meant that I got to miss out on some of these amazing things. And that evening, I saw several people walking around with these bags, and I was like, oh, what? Where did everybody get these? And she had several of them, and they sold out super fast. So, because I love pink, I asked her if she had pink wax canvas, and she did. And so I got a pink one, of course, and I love it so much. It is so solid and so well made. I cannot wait to take this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take this on my upcoming trip. I think it's the perfect sturdy traveling backpack for knitting. So I'm really excited. I think that this is the Range backpack pattern. Almost positive. But yeah, Party of 5 Crafts. And I will try to remember to put a link in the show notes. And I haven't said it in a while, but all show notes of mine are found on my website, suburbanstitcher.com, under podcast. And there's a link for each and every episode and the complete show notes over there. So if you're looking for anything, you can go click on that link. I usually put a link to it below the YouTube video, and then that website takes you to everything you need to see. The other things that I got this week, I pre-ordered this kit. It's a pattern I believe it's called Rose and Rambouillet. Almost positive. The pattern is by Tammy Gore. I don't know. I feel like she has a different design name maybe, but Tammy Gore is the human name and also her Instagram. And it was a pattern by her, a one skein pattern. This beautiful, I believe this is, I don't know if it is natural dyed. It might be, but it's stunning. It's this gorgeous, like rosy, peachy color. The yarn company is called The Dye Project, and it says handcrafted in Santa Cruz, California. 470 yards of 100% Rambouillet. It is so squishy and soft. It is just the most fun, sheepy, beautiful yarn. I love the octopus on the label. I think that's just, I love a good cephalopod. And then it also came with this pink glittery sheep by Nerdbird Makery. And I think that's so fun. So I left it in the packaging so I would know the maker and everything to share with you. I don't know if these are sold separately or if it was just a part of the kit, because as you can see, it's a pink glitter Rambouillet sheep holding a rose. For Rose and Rambouillet. I got this cute, I needed some needles, and so I had some shop credit from Yarn Scout in Montana. And I ordered the needles from them to use my shop credit, and I think to get up to shipping, I needed to order something else just to get free shipping, and so I got this enamel pin of theirs, which so stinking cute. It's love with a yarn ball as the O and a peace sign as the V, which I love. So this is from Yarn Scout. Super cute. That's definitely going to go on my, like, it's going to go on a travel project bag that I can see all the time. And then I got my, I think it's been a while since I showed these. I'm still getting the monthly cute little princess cupcake stitch marker from the Gnome Knitter. This is Sleeping Beauty. So Aurora, you can see her little crown on the cupcake. Is that showing? And then the little, she always puts like a little extra charm, and this is a spinning wheel, of course. So that's pretty much it for this week as far as knitting and Hello Lovelies shop information. I do still have some of the Birch Grove bee bags. There's a handful of these still left available. Once they are gone, there are no more. We will not be making any more of these. They were exclusive for the Bee Collective. So if you like it, please, please go ahead and purchase this now, because once they're gone, they're gone. And they are so beautifully made, interfaced, and beautiful fabrics, and they're so soft. It would be a lovely collection to your project bags. I don't know if this will go up today, but today is the last day to pre-order Yarn Park Passports clubs for August, as well as the Bee Collective. All of those pre-orders are coming down this week. And the reason, or today, they're coming down today, Sunday, August 11th. And the reason they're coming down is because I have so many events coming up in the next 6 to 8 weeks. You guys, so many things. Okay, so I'm looking at this list because I don't want to miss something. So in 2 weeks, I have a huge trunk show at Yarn Store Boutique in Spring, Texas, as part of the Yarn Trail, which is the Houston area yarn crawl. Yarn Store Boutique is one of the newer shops in the area. Like I said, it's off of 99 in Spring is technically the address, but it's kind of like Tomball area to me is what it feels like. It's not Spring as in Old Town Spring, which is on the other side of 45. It's inside the loop of 99, south of 99, but like just barely south of what I would consider Tomball, if that helps at all for location, for locals. But I will be there all day 2 Saturdays from now, on the 24th, I believe. And I would love for you to come see me. I will have kits. I will have single skeins of yarn. I will have so many samples for you to try on and see in person. And I'll just be hanging out and knitting and answering any questions that you have. So I hope to see so many friends there. Then after that, I announced this on Instagram, but I guess I haven't said it over here yet. Mr. Stitcher, I'm so proud of him, you guys. He has been invited to go present his project, his work that he does at the battered and homeless women's shelter where he works. He is presenting his program for traumatic brain injuries to a big, huge conference in Oslo, Norway. It's an international conference on domestic violence against women. And he is presenting his work and his research. And I'm so proud of him. And he gets to go do this amazing thing in Norway. And I'm going with him. So we leave in just a little under 3 weeks for some time in Norway. Half of the time will be his conference, and I'll get to explore the city a little bit on my own. And then the second half of the week, we will be visiting a friend a little bit outside of the city. And then I will be back to Oslo on the Friday of, I don't know the date, maybe the 6th? I think the 6th. But I'll be back on the 6th to Oslo to go to the Oslo Knitting Festival, Stricka Festival. I know I'm not saying that correctly, but I'm just so excited. Like, what are the odds? We were already going for his conference anyway, and then what are the odds that a yarn festival would be the second weekend that we're there? So I will get to walk around and see so many amazing vendors that I would never get to see any other way, other than going to a European yarn festival. And honestly, like, that is such a dream come true for me. There's so many amazing things here. And then, even when you just travel outside of your, local region, you see new dyers and new makers and new things. And then to travel to an entirely different country, I'm so excited. So I will take lots of pictures and bring you with me on that trip. Cannot wait. So that is beginning of September. And then what else do I have going on? Okay, so then after that, just a few days after we get back, I will be leaving again to go to the Knitting at the Estate retreat, which is held in kind of middle of Illinois, and it is hosted by Leading Men Fiber Arts. So it's their first year, their first retreat. I'm attending the entire thing. I'm going up a day early to go hang out with Amber, yarn hoarder, who is amazing, and picking me up at the airport, and I get to go hang out with her menagerie of pets at her house and pet all the dogs and knit all the things, and I'll get to be in the 3rd floor craft room, and I feel like that is such a dream come true. I love seeing my friends like at their homes and like being with them, like where they are. That feels like real friends that will have you into their like real lives. So I'm so excited to get to do that. And so that is in mid-September. And then right after that, I will be headed back to Knit City, Vancouver. Again, I don't think I have announced that officially yet, but it is official. I am going to Knit City, Vancouver again. The super exciting thing this year is that Suburban Stitcher yarn will be in not 1, but 2 different booths. I am gobsmacked. I am so honored. I'm so excited. So if you are attending Knit City in Vancouver, you can buy Suburban Stitcher yarn. Bad Anna's, which is a local yarn store to Vancouver. It's actually about 3 or so blocks away from the P&E, right on the same street as the festival, but Bad Anna's will have kits for several popular projects, Suburban Wrap and Time Trades kits, and let's see what else. I think they might have one other one. I can't remember. So there will be kits for those shawls there, and then I will have loose yarn available for sale in the Holly Yo, who is a gorgeous pattern designer. But Holly Yo has her own booth for her patterns and various makes and yarns and makers, and I will have yarn in her booth as well. So if you want kits for some really popular things that I have either had featured yarn as the for the design, or just some things that I've made that are really popular kits that I sell, you can go to Bad Anna's. And if you want to maybe just pull some individual skeins for different projects that you have in mind, then you can go find that at the Holly Yo booth. I'm so honored to be there again as a visitor, and then to also be able to sell my yarn to Canadians whom I love so much. And I get all the time, so many people are asking me, when are you going to have your yarn here in Canada? And you can get it at Knit City. So please, please, please come support both of those lovely shops and booths, and come say hello to me. I will be spending a little bit of time in both booths, so I hope to see you there. Let's see, and what else? The last thing, that's right. I mean, like, when am I actually going to work during all this time? The last event / place that my yarn will be, I sadly will not be there, because at some point I actually have to live in my house and be with my family and work. But my yarn will be part of a trunk show at the Hill Country Weavers Hill Country Yarn Crawl, which is October 11th through the 20th, I believe. It's the weekend before Rhinebeck and the weekend of Rhinebeck. And it runs for about 10 days, and my yarn will be at Hill Country Weavers in Austin for the entire time. She has a big wholesale order coming to her, so you will be able to get some yarn and make lots of fun projects there as well. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited for all of the yarn and the knitting and the meeting of people that's going to be happening. Gosh, really almost all over the world. Yes, not almost, literally all over the world for me and for Suburban Stitcher in the next several weeks and months. So thank you again to all of you who have made this crazy little dream of mine a reality, and who continue to support me and love my yarns and love what you see here. So again, if you like what you see and you want to keep getting alerts on this podcast and when I'm making things, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and you can also sign up for alerts. If you hit the little bell, I believe that signs you up for alerts. As soon as I publish a podcast, it will let you know. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you soon. Bye.